If you've been under a rock for the past couple of years, you may have failed to notice the exploding availability of independently developed games. To sum the story up, it's getting easier and easier to learn to program, and thanks to the internet, more and more creatives are hooking up and becoming game devs and spitting out incredible little indie titles. There are some damn good AAA titles that I enjoy, but today I want to focus on what I consider to be the creme of the crop, the most replayable and enthralling indie games that reside close to my heart and on the tips of my thumbs and fingers. Without any further pomp and circumstance, let's go ahead and just get started, huh? First up is Zeno Clash. I keep going back to Zeno Clash because it's pure fun. The combat mechanics are intense and there's a lot of really fun, satisfying moments in the game. A long time ago, I even did a permadeath run and beat the game without dying on the hardest difficulty, just saying. And that's honestly one of the more fun times I've had playing a game. Apart from the actual gameplay, the world itself is just really weird and incredibly fun to learn about and experience the just alien culture that you're thrust into. Game's got an endless mode too, so hey, it just gets even more replayability. Ace Team absolutely nailed it with Zeno Clash, and this sucker is a classic for me. Next up, Refunction and Refunct, and alright, yeah, I'm cheating a bit here by naming two games at once. It's my video, deal with it. Refunction and Refunct are two games by Dominique Grishofer, and they are rad as hell. They're pretty similar games, which is why they're stuck together like this, but at the same time have some really major core differences. Refunction is more of a stealth game, having you sneak and platform around a level with baddies that'll hunt you down and kill the shit out of you as you try to collect floating cubes. Refunct is more of a chill game, focused on more atmosphere and platforming as you jump around a growing level gathering cubes. I've 100%ed both games a few times, and every now and then I still get the itch to go back and jump or sneak around. Next, we got Shadowcrypt. It's no secret at all that I like games that can kick my ass. It's a fact, and a pretty damn stationary one at that. It's not gonna change anytime soon. One Bit Punch's Shadowcrypt is a dungeon crawl in the style of old arcade games. The combat's tight and intense, with you only having a few lives. When you die, you start at the beginning of the last room that you were in, but lose any gear that you found on your way there, making progression all of a sudden a lot more difficult. Lose all your lives, and that's it. You gotta start at the beginning with the beginner gear and go all through everything again. Unlike a lot of dungeon crawls nowadays, Shadowcrypt isn't a roguelike. The rooms are the same every time you play, as are the enemies and their placements, and this makes it all about learning what's coming up next and improving your skills with the weapons that are available. It's a simple game, and there's a lot that could be added to make it truly incredible, but it's another one that I always end up playing when I have some spare time. Receiver. Yet another game where you're gonna die a lot. Wolfire Games, the peeps that have been working on Overgrowth since before I was born, that's an exaggeration, released Receiver as a game jam project for the 7-day FPS challenge a few years ago. It focuses on the interaction and, by extension, the relationship that a player has with their firearm in-game. You have to perform all the actions to ready and fire your weapon. Putting bullets into the clip, putting the clip into your gun, pulling back the slide, turning off the safety, and all the other little tiny minutiae of firearm interaction. The goal of the game is to gather a bunch of tapes, but really it's more about just dying less and getting better with the weapons. If you add in a mod made by community member Josh707 that adds a few more guns, balancing, and frame rate stabilization, you got yourself a pretty kick-ass game with a variety of weapons and mechanics to learn. The fun here really does come from the tense atmosphere and the simple complication the gameplay presents. I recommend this one to people who like roguelites and detailed but not simulation level interactions. Also, there's a link to the mod down in the description. If you couldn't predict that Distance was gonna be on this list at some point, then you haven't been paying attention to my channel. I haven't always been a fan of racing games, but as soon as I played Refract's Distance, that changed for good. I'm still not a huge fan of games that try to keep things realistic, playing more like a simulation than like an arcade game. I prefer my races to be fast-paced and absolutely ridiculous. And it just so happens that Distance is the craziest racing game I have ever come across, ever, Trackmania being the exception of like equal craziness. In Distance, you pilot a kick-ass car through all sorts of flashy, hellish environments as you avoid obstacles, drive on walls, get caught by lasers, and fly. There's a steady learning curve, and the skill caps way up there, especially if you're interested in speedrunning. There are thousands of community-made levels to play, and if you're anything like me, you'll quickly find yourself passing the 300 hours played mark. To top things off, the community is filled with great people, and it's super active for an indie game. There are a number of events held throughout the year, ranging from an in-game tag tournament to level creating competitions, and every Saturday the community gets together on their Discord server to hang out and play. Hell, even the developers kick ass, directly interacting with the community very regularly, constantly communicating about updates and changes, and joining in on and supporting a lot of the events that the community whips up. I seriously cannot recommend this game or its community enough. So, hey, there you have it. Easily my top 5 considering I go back to them so much. I hope this helps you find some kick-ass new games to play, and maybe even gets you to check out all kinds of games that you probably wouldn't have looked into before. So tell me, what are some games that you find yourself returning to over and over again? What keeps you coming back? Let me know down in the comments. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, remember to do the dang YouTube stuff and share this video around, alright? I'll see you next time. Bye!